Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Aquarius. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your second week of March 2021. And just a quick heads up for all y'all out there, if you're part of my Patreon, the weekly bonus astrology report is up. I am doing things a little bit differently. Instead of doing like the big, long-ass live one where I kind of run through every single sign, I've actually decided to just do the report, right? Nice, pre-recorded, condensed, and then have everything displayed on screen as far as what signs have what going on in what houses and what area of life. And so if you want to check that out, you can of course open the down bar below and go check out my Patreon channel. And thank you so much everyone for being a supporter. So this week, I'm actually talking about a different astrology aspect though, because we have something kicking on, starting up, that's going to be with us for the next few weeks. And we've got Mars recently moved into Gemini, your 5th house of love, romance, as well as parenthood, creativity, and anything that you're trying to bring forth into being in the world, forming a very strong sextile. It'll get stronger as we go through the rest of this week, to Chiron in Aries, your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, your peer group. And yes, to a certain degree, this can indicate a bit of travel. And with Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, the divine ascended masculine, problem solving, forming a sextile to Chiron, the ruler of our baggage, essentially, the ruler of the stuff that may have registered on our consciousness that we need to clear so that we can actually have the best life possible. This next few weeks is going to be changing a lot of dynamics when it comes to your sense of community and your sense of love, romance, and relationships. Because with Mars in the 5th house, we have a development going on either with a partner or with a child, maybe even a new relationship prospect, a new love interest showing up, or a new maybe relationship story unfolding that is actually going to be challenging you and your peer group to actually reach higher when it comes to, you know, how we communicate, how we bond, how we connect, how we actually go about carrying ourselves, but also at the same time having the healthiest relationships possible. Mars is not a coddler, and I've been saying this to everyone. This is going to challenge some pain points in the way that maybe we were socialized. Okay, and with Mars, this could be challenges coming from your partner, challenges coming from a new person, challenges coming from your kid, or challenges coming from a new love story that actually are meant to come to you so we can have a solution, right? It's not about psychological or emotional fortification. It's about solutions to problems in the way things are being socialized, or how socializing has been occurring in friendships and in your peer group. Over the course of this coming few weeks, you are going to be finding that this is knocking down a lot of walls, especially when it comes to intimacy and closeness, and the ability for everybody to have much more involved and much more peaceful and even stimulating relationships as far as romance is concerned, but also stronger loyalties and stronger bonds with kids and friends. However, a lot of programming either from the community, how we were brought up, again, socialized, is also going to be on the chopping block. So be prepared to lean in. Mars is going to do it Mars's way. Mars is not going to do it your way. And we're all going to have this show up in our lives in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, allow this to work for you. Do not work against it. Again, it's not about psychological or emotional fortification. It's about solutions and the highest interest of all concerned. As we get on to your cards, we have the Judgment card upright, as far as your spiritual theme of the week. And the Judgment card upright is basically bringing all matters in your life to a head so that they can either be evolved, amplified, expanded, promoted, upgraded, updated, and more, basically leveled up, or purged, neutralized, cleared, recycled, however we want to look at that. And with the Judgment card, in a lot of cases, for a lot of you Aquarius people, everything is going to feel like it's going through a bit of a strong appraisal, but there is encouragement as well to start putting finishing touches on a lot of stories, a lot of pursuits that seemed to kind of become almost more repetitive or more routine, or have not necessarily been able to grow or not given the chance to reach fruition. And this may actually be a week where a lot of you find that, yes, kind of like the Gemini people, a lot of very, very positive shifts are occurring. At the same time, a lot of very uncomfortable shifts are occurring. It's okay, right? We don't split things into black and white. We allow this to occur and we participate so that we can actually see what makes it and what is going through this big upcycling event that's happening for a lot of you. As we get on to your material shifts when it comes to your work, your job, your finances, maybe your living situation when it comes to practical affairs, well, we've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And a lot of you might be finding that this week it could be a bit frustrating because you might find that you have to catch something or fix something that is actually being done either incorrectly or not getting done at all. Now, this could be going on with a financial circumstance. This may be something going on at work. It may be a coworker, even a client, not necessarily doing their due diligence. Some of you may find that because of the Judgment card involved, this could be something that makes or breaks a professional relationship or engagement of some kind, whether it's somebody that we've hired or it's somebody that we have partnered up with or created some kind of alliance with. But with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, what is really also important to understand is that this does not have to go in the toilet. We are actually getting something and getting it up to speed. Now, some of you may also be going through a bit of a purge, however, because the Eight of Pentacles reversed is also giving you some freedom from things that you don't necessarily want to or have to work on or work with anymore. And so you could actually be putting more money back in your wallet as well. When it comes to new jobs and Aquarians looking for new work opportunities, I want you to make sure you check in if you haven't heard anything back from any recruiters or any applications filed. Something may be collecting dust. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, maybe other people in your life, you do have the Strength card in reverse. It does look like there is, and this feels like it's a platonic relationship. So again, this is not to be conflated with relationships. But when it comes to friends and relatives, the Strength card reverse is indicating there may actually be some kind of fight, some kind of argument or altercation that comes due to, I feel like it's them. I feel like there's something going on with them where an unhealthy habit or maybe an unhealthy personality trait has actually taken over. And it's something that you're aware of, but maybe it's something that you never really thought about because they never turned it on you. But it is now being shown very clearly what the problem with the situation or what with this person is. With the Strength card reversed, often this is something that is not getting contained or managed very well and is not necessarily going to go away just because we managed to put out the fire that got started. I do think that some of you may be choosing, with that Judgment card upright, to take some space. As we get on to your challenge this week, when it comes to, what you are challenged to do, you've got the Nine of Cups upright, focusing on your pleasure, focusing on your happiness, authentically, through and through, 100%. The Nine of Cups upright is indicating you don't really have any kind of pervasive obstacle or challenge that is just kind of going on consistently day to day this week, which is great. But with the Nine of Cups, it is important to understand where you might be denying yourself or cheating yourself out of something that really does actually, present itself as a part of who you are, that you don't let yourself enjoy. You don't let yourself love about yourself, or you don't let yourself share with others. You don't let yourself share with yourself. In a lot of cases with the Nine of Cups as a challenge, sometimes this can, mean we have to pay attention to where we need to fill our cup, so to speak. Where have we been kind of running on fumes? Or where is it we have maybe even thought that something that there's nothing wrong with is somehow something bad or something that we need to keep in check? Now, I'm not talking about unhealthy habits. I'm not talking about running out and going on a bender here. But there are certain things with the Nine of Cups that maybe we have been trying to keep from ourselves because we almost feel like it's not right to let that be a clear and present truth in our lives that's also keeping us deprived. And your challenge this week is to find out what that is, embrace it, and engage it. Of course, sensibly. As we get on to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you do have the Eight of Cups upright. And it does look like a lot of you Aquarian people who are available and looking for somebody new are actually going to be finding that, yes, I do see somebody showing up on your radar, but there is going to be a distance that needs to be closed with the Eight of Cups between you. Now, it could be a temporary distance. Maybe we meet this person and all of a sudden we find out they're going on a trip, or that they, live, a couple hours out of town and, we got to find a way to close the gap. Or perhaps it's just something that we are getting a chance to explore and, close the gap later with. The Eight of Cups is indicating that this is something that does actually have a chance of becoming a bit more. If you are willing to, work through the practicalities of this in a way that is actually not only, again, going to serve the highest interest of all concerned, but also make sure that we can actually start getting things on a roll in a sensible way and in a timely fashion so it doesn't just kind of go up in smoke. The Eight of Cups is also indicating some of you may be finding that somebody has become available that was not available before, or if for whatever reason was not available to you, but they have left that situation behind. As we get on to those of you who are currently coupled, the Eight of Cups is indicating some of you may actually be in a situation where as a couple, we are agreeing to actually leave something behind ourselves. Now, some of you who've maybe been thinking about looking for a new place to live, looking to move, or even do any traveling, yeah, I think a lot of you are going to start getting that off the ground this week. But with the Eight of Cups, some of you may also find that when it comes to a partner and yourself, you both may actually be deciding that you want to leave a certain situation or certain lifestyle behind, maybe even walking away from a certain story or a certain social group that we've been involved in, and move on to greener pastures. And I think that with the Eight of Cups, you're always encouraged to do that. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on into my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.